Hi, it's Sherry here. So today I want to talk about the subject calories. So I want to talk about, do calories matter? So first let me introduce myself. I'm Sherry Smiller and I'm a personal trainer and a nutrition coach. I work with women to help them reduce the symptoms of menopause and lose weight. And so I want to get started by talking about calories in food. I'm going to get a little bit sciencey at first. So I want to talk about what a calorie is. So a calorie is a unit of energy. It indicates how much energy we get from food. So just like if you're with your car, your fuel is your gasoline, and your mileage is, how efficient that is. Your calorie count would be, and calorie expenditure, how efficient your body is at using that fuel. So the food being the fuel. So the method that scientists use to determine how many calories are in a food, we see on packaging or in apps like MyFitnessPal, that was developed about 100 years ago. And it's not totally accurate. There are some newer methods that are trying to develop, but it's not as accurate as we would like. So it means that these calorie counts that you see can be incorrect. The FDA, because of this, allows for about a 20% error in the calories that you see on a package. So that means that with a 1,500 calorie diet, you can be off by 300 calories just, going by the packaging, or by like an app like MyFitnessPal. So then the next problem with calories in food is how we absorb them. Depends on how the food is prepared, how much fiber is in the food, and it depends on the individual. So a few examples here. A raw egg contains fewer calories than a boiled egg. So if your calorie count is using a raw egg, and you're probably not eating the raw egg. If you're eating the boiled egg, it's going to be incorrect. Then, as far as the individual goes, your gut bacteria plays a role in how you absorb the calories from the food. So, if we move on to calories burned now. So how many calories you burn at rest depends on a lot of things. So depends on how much muscle you have in your body, depends on your hormone levels, how much sleep you get, your stress levels, your gut bacteria again, how much you eat, and genetics. So there's a lot of things there. And that's the biggest amount of calories probably is the calories you burn at rest. I mean, it depends. If you're really active, it's going to be the activity. So then if we go to calories you burn from exercise, that's also difficult to estimate. So the calories shown on an exercise machine or on a fitness tracker, they're not very accurate. They depend on things. Well, if you're using a machine, it depends on your age, your weight, your height. So if you enter that, that's going to make it more accurate. Your fitness tracker probably knows that, but it's also going probably by other things like the movement you're doing and the heart rate. So that makes it a little bit more accurate because it can track those things. But it's still a difficult thing. A thing with, like, if you're on the elliptical and you've entered all that stuff, if you're moving your arms as opposed to not moving your arms, which the machine doesn't know, you're going to burn more calories. if you've got good form, you'll probably burn fewer calories than if you're moving all over the place. Not that that's a good thing to do, but so that's where a machine can be off by quite a bit. And it may not be measuring your heart rate accurately, which if it's using that to determine your calories burned, that's not going to be very accurate. So if you're using an app like MyFitnessPal or something like that to estimate your calories when you're doing activity, just make sure that you're not overestimating the time or the intensity of an activity, because that will make a difference. A lot of times people do tend to say, well, I went to the gym for an hour, but if you spent a lot of that time just talking to your friends, that doesn't count. So as difficult as it is to track rest and exercise, the time that we spend on activities that are not rest and exercise, that's the most difficult to estimate. And that could be up to half of your daily calorie burn if you're really active. But that depends, the calories burned depends on how much you move around, how much you fidget. So even if you're sitting, but you're fidgeting, moving your legs, moving your arms, if you're, like I do, I talk with my hands, I'm burning more calories than if I'm just sitting doing nothing. So, and it also depends on if you've dieted in the past, because if you've dieted before, your body will probably try to conserve energy more, and so that it will burn fewer calories just doing the moving around and stuff. So I guess to answer the question, do calories matter? Yes, they do, but the science of measuring calories that come into your body by eating or go out through exercise is far from exact. So while they may matter, it's really difficult to track them accurately. You can use an app to get a baseline, but know that it's not going to be totally accurate, and don't be saying, well, I burned 200 calories exercising, so I can eat this muffin that's 200 calories, because probably you didn't burn 200 calories, and probably the muffin isn't exactly 200 calories. So rather than focusing on, don't spend a lot of time focusing on these things. Focus on choosing healthier foods, getting more exercise, reducing stress. Don't get stressed out about the calories for sure, and don't spend a lot of time on it. And focus on getting more sleep, things like that, and that will be more beneficial than spending too much time focusing on this calorie count. So that's all I have. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.